Welcome back to OAP-TV. It's been a little minute. I'm Coach Brian.
And I'm Coach Kyler.
It's been a few weeks that we made an episode. We were doing a construction of this awesome new studio that we have now.
I know we got the upgrade in. It's pretty sweet. We got the shelving. We got the new chairs. We got the Rainstorm energy drink sign. Thank you to Rainstorm for that.
Yes, sir. We got all types of cool stuff here. And we are going to talk about a few things, right?
Yep.
Number one that we're going to be talking about is the Kang Dwang incident.
Yeah, big fine.
Yeah, huge, humongous. That's kind of some chump change to some people, but that's I won't make that
Not
in my
me.
lifetime. We got the Pickler opening, some issues with it opening and what's going on with that. Andre Agassi, Anna Bright, and Anna Lee. What else? The Ape paddle giveaway.
Yeah, the giveaway for the ape paddle from last episode. It's been a while, but we will be giving it away.
Yes, sir. And we'll also be talking about some tournaments.
Yeah, there's a few upcoming OAP events to update people on for sure.
So let's start talking about this Kang Dwang character.
Yeah.
Who does he think he is? Going to his hometown and playing pickleball. What did you think about that when you saw? I thought it was crazy, but
well, I mean, he's got one of those big contracts with the PPA MLP that he's basically just supposed to be exclusive to their events. He's not supposed to be going around and playing other stuff. You know, that's why you don't see just like Ben Johns randomly show up to like a OAP $1,000, $2,000 money ball when he's in town.
right. And he actually went to Asia, but he went to Asia with Yola, so it was like a whole Yola thing. Plus, this isn't Kang Dwang's first like breaching contract thing that happened with Selkirk.
Yeah, he got in trouble with Selkirk as well.
Because he used what did he use? Proton? In the middle of like two different matches?
Yes. It was also, I think he was playing another tournament overseas, if I remember right. And he was seen using the Proton paddle when he is signed to use Selkirk exclusively.
I saw a picture of him with the Proton blacked out, like with a Sharpie. Have you seen that picture?
No, it does not surprise me, though.
I'm like, I guess he doesn't want to get in more trouble? Or...
No. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things going. He was definitely a trendsetter in terms of pros moving away from the Selkirk paddle.
Yeah, I agree with that. Selkirk is having, I guess, trouble keeping up with everybody else, even though for me they were light years ahead. And then now it's like...
Yeah, I know. Well, they were really upset with the sort of Yola's approach to the mod. And, you know, how they basically created a paddle that was probably too hot just out of the box. Then you played with it and it got even hotter, way out of spec. Basically core crushed immediately. And, you know, they basically took the stance that, like, it was bad for the game and these paddles should be banned. And, you know, this isn't a road we should be going down. And Yola went in the opposite direction and just basically... you know, made the paddles as powerful as possible while just, you know, keeping them sort of just in spec.
Yeah, they pushed a whole lot with that. You know, the whole Gen 3 coming out, and then everybody was like, oh, that's too much. And then Gearbox was like, watch this. We'll take your eyes out.
Yeah.
But Selkirk kind of just stayed... in like watching everything. I think that's what it felt like.
Yeah,
they were just chilling out and seeing Proton and Gearbox and Yola and all these companies just kind of going with that movement of power and grit.
Yes.
You know, grabbing everything and trying to be like super powerful.
Yeah.
And then they just chilled there for a long time, and then they tried to come up with the foam.
Yep.
That was kind of like, I don't know, man. I always liked Selkirk. I always thought that they were gonna, you know, just do some crazy stuff with everything with pickleball.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I was like, they're light years ahead of everybody, and they're just gonna take off. This is the future of pickleball, is Selkirk, blah 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 blah. And then that just happened, and I'm like, foam. I'm like, what happened? And then they came out with the 007. I was like, this has to be the coolest thing because it's 007. It wasn't.
No.
And then they came out with the 008, and they got like, I want to say the 14 millimeter, and then the 13, and then the 10 millimeter, or something like that. And then that wasn't it either. And I mean, I don't blame Kang Dwang for playing with the Proton, for doing that, but it is in his contract, and that kind of sucks as a company. So if I'm a company and you're my player, and then you switch to another paddle, that kind of like messes up our agreement and our trust. You know what I'm saying? And then do other companies see that and they're like, I don't want to sign with this guy, because what is he's going to use somebody else's paddle in the middle of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely he's definitely got to be worried about sort of cultivating a reputation of, you know, somebody who isn't going to honor sort of contracts or agreements that he's made in the past. But I do think there's a very specific reason that he's doing it. And I think it's pretty calculated on his part. A lot of people probably don't know this, but one of the biggest pickleball scenes outside of US and Canada is actually Vietnam. You know, it's one of the fastest, I think the third fastest growing country for pickleball is Vietnam, and that's where Kwang's from. So I think it's probably a business decision that, like, if he sort of goes over there and plays as sort of the best Vietnamese player in the world, you know, he can basically be the Ben Johns of Vietnam, and that might be more valuable to him and his brand in the long term than being the 20th best guy on the PPA tour or whatever.
I think that's what's going on, because he's a big deal.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, he's a really big. I mean, he's like a celebrity over there.
Exactly.
So I think you're right. It has something to do with that, because that might be more important to him than anything else. I don't think I really think that they kind of went overboard with that. I mean, you know, fining him $50,000 freaking dollars, and then he's suspended from a PPA event and an MLP event. It's like, that's a little, I don't know.
My guess would be that there's probably some behind the scenes back and forth between him and the PPA that we haven't seen, and I would be shocked if, like, they never said anything to him and then just dropped this fine and suspension out of nowhere. It was probably like a, hey, we saw you doing this tournament over in country blah blah blah, you know, cut it out. Probably at least a warning or two, because if you look at his Instagram and stuff, it's not his sort of first time doing this for sure.
Yeah, so my thing is, like, for like Selkirk, would they want him back? PPA, is it that serious that they would, like, just kind of cease that contract, like let him play the whole contract out and then cut him off?
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those, I think, sort of fairly tense business negotiations where, you know, they're probably threatening him with X, Y, and Z, and, you know, he's basically playing chicken with them, saying, you know, go ahead, do it. Like, my market or my potential value in Vietnam is, you know, higher than what you can find me for, so knock yourselves out. Something like that is probably going on behind the scenes, would be my guess. And this was probably the PPA's sort of first public attempt to get him back in line within the terms of his contract. And I don't know, he was probably, I would be shocked if he wasn't warned that this or something similar was going to happen if he continued sort of with his overseas tournaments and stuff. So,
and as a player, you know, as he's a great player and he's getting up there. Do you think that would, like, I don't know, hurt him in the long run with the PPA, APP, just different associations and organizations, plus paddle companies? Would he lose, like, credibility, you think? Or would it be like, you know, this guy's this good, we could work our way around it? Because I think, like, Ben Johns can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. So
and Lee Waters, you know, they can do whatever that they want because they're the best in the world.
Yeah.
He's not the best in the world, but he's climbing up. Yeah. He's crazy young. He's gonna get better. You know what I mean? But he's definitely up there in those names.
Yeah, I think more relevantly is, my guess would be he's probably hurt his market or his potential sort of business partnerships on the American side of things. But if he's the number one player in Vietnam and keeps building his brand over there, and, you know, he's essentially the Ben Johns of Vietnam, then I don't think that matters so much. I don't think his reputation with sort of American businesses matters as much. If he's the dominant apex star in the Vietnamese pickleball scene and it blows up over there the way it looks like it's going to, and he can maintain that top position, then yeah, I think it's like he's going to be able to, any paddle company over there is going to want him, any sort of tournament or tour scene over there is going to want him, and it sort of doesn't matter what reputation or, you know, previous contracts he sort of torched in America. And I would guess that's part of the sort of calculus behind what he's doing as well.
Would it be as much money though? Because I mean, PPA is just, they got that cheddar, that bread.
Yeah,
they got some money to, you know, pass around. Would it be the same in Vietnam? What kind of, you know, tournaments or associations did they have in Vietnam that I don't know about it. I'm not saying that they don't have as big, but yeah, I just haven't heard of anything as big as PPA or even APP.
My guess would be that he's the bet that they're sort of making is that being the number one player in Vietnam is going to be a lot more valuable than being the 20th best player in America. The other thing with the PPA is, you know, those player contracts are, I think once the current round of 2 or 3 years that all the players were signed to during the tour wars between MLP and PPA expire, I don't think there's any guarantee, especially for those sort of mid-tier players, that they're going to see money anything like what they're currently getting now. There could be a big drop-off for, you know, the players outside of probably the top 10 would be my guess. And Kwong's kind of around that bubble, I think.
Yeah, I think I would agree that he's around that time.
Yeah.
You look younger, buddy. with that beard shaving off.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't feel younger.
It didn't work then. It didn't make you feel younger.
No.
I like it though.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk about the Pickler.
Yeah.
The Pickler opening. I mean, real quick, anyways, because if you guys stay tuned for the next episode, we're gonna have, I believe it's the general manager coming in, and he's gonna be explaining why. And the Pickler hasn't opened there because there's been a couple times where they were supposed to open and they didn't open. But same thing happened, you know, with Crush Yard, and these places just go through a little bit of things and they have to pass this, that, and the third, whatever. But we'll definitely be talking about that for the Pickler in North Orlando. Thanks, Dave, for pointing that out. Got Dave as the producer over here, the man behind the scenes. Right?
Yeah, I think I've learned through my brief pickleball career that whenever you're trying to open an indoor facility, there is a lot more red tape than you think there is going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
It ain't easy.
Every single facility that I know of, I know people involved in building it. There are delays with codes, with building, with permits. The whole thing takes way longer than anybody thinks it's going to take.
Yeah, they just think just open it.
Yeah.
Just open it and then that's it. And then
Just build it.
Yeah.
And unlock the doors.
Build
Boom.
it. Boom. Open the doors and
Not
we're
so
good.
easy.
And it's a lot of crap.
But yeah, we were planning on going there for the grand opening and only found out sort of a couple hours before that
was a couple hours before we were like, oh.
I know a lot of people sort of didn't get that memo at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, you can't really. I wouldn't look too much into it. I mean, if I was anyone, but
hopefully our next episode will be able to get the inside scoop on sort of what happened exactly there.
Yeah.
But my guess would be it's red tape related.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, that's the case with most of those places. Did you want to say anything about Andre Agassi? I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
You know, from the U.S. Open, anything about his paddle or anything like that? I mean, it's been a while since he came into the whole pro scene. Do you think that we'll continue to see him?
I mean, I don't think he's not going to be like a top level pro. Like it's pretty clear that he's not as good as, you know, the top players in the world right now. Like, you're not going to see him doing anything on the PPA, right?
Right.
But he, you know, obviously he's got crazy racket skills and athleticism and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's playing senior pro and stuff pretty soon. It was also cool to see him in the U.S. Open playing against some people we know well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Stevie.
Yeah.
They kicked ass, man. They did so good. That was awesome watching them.
That's a cool experience for them for sure.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure Tristan will probably end up playing many other racket sport legends if he keeps doing as well as he has been. Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't. He's so young. He's only 16.
Yeah.
Stevie's 13. I mean, they're just gonna be crazy
Absolutely,
good.
Yeah. I mean, Tristan is beating all the adults now in Orlando in singles.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine like freaking just going and then it's like, hang on, this 16 and 13-year-old.
I know, this is like unbeatable.
Yeah, that's the future of pickle. Like, I wanna see more of that. I want to see more younger like generations like playing it, because that means like they're gonna play longer.
Yeah. And
they're gonna do like this crazy ultimate, because I don't think that pickleball has peaked.
Absolutely.
Even with this, you know, all these awesome paddles that they're coming out with, I don't think it's peaked. I don't think the shots, you know, we don't have every single shot. I think there's more shots to come. You know, these younger, you know, the kids are our future. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the pro scene now, it's filled with people who were sort of adult converts to pickleball. Whereas if you look at like tennis, basically everyone playing high level professional tennis has had a racket in their hands since they were 5 years old. And with pickleball, there are very few players who are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, basically everybody started out in some sort of racket sport, usually tennis, and then picked up pickleball sometime in the last 5 years. So I think as you start seeing more and more kids coming up who have played it since they were like early teens or younger, it's just going to evolve the game to another level when you've got these sort of lifelong pickleball players hitting adulthood.
Yeah, and that goes really good with coaching. One one of the places that I coach at, there's a 10-year-old
Yeah.
that has been doing tennis since 5 years old. And he's like maybe not even a year into pickleball. And it's just crazy easy to teach. It's amazing. It's like, okay, do it this way, and then boom. Not only does he do it that way, but he does it at like a 4 or 5 level almost. And it's like, oh my gosh, this kid's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I think that we will see Agassi more, and I'm hoping to see him more in the senior, because I think he would be crazy awesome. I won't say that he'll dominate, but I'll say that he'll be amazing in senior pro. If he sticks to, the regular tour with all the young guns, it'll be challenging for him for sure. So I think that's going to be a preference for him, because I haven't read anything of him making a decision of where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Is he going to stay in the regular PPA or with the young guns, or is he going to go to senior pro and just take his chances there? But regardless, I'll be a fan of him, because I like the guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was a fan of his when I was a kid watching him play tennis. And I also think that from the interviews that I've seen with him, it seems like he's really sort of caught the bug, as it were. Like, whatever drove him to try to master every aspect of tennis and push himself to be like the absolute best player he could be, it seems like he's focusing that drive and passion on pickleball now in the same way he did with tennis years ago.
Yeah,
so
he definitely caught that bug, as you say. I think he was one of those kind of tennis players that were like reluctant to even try it out.
Yeah.
And then, like Johnny Mac, freaking John McEnroe just talks so much shit about it. He was like, it's terrible, it's not even a sport and all this junk. And then he played it, and I think he really likes it.
Yeah.
Like on like low key, like he's secretly loving pickleball.
Yeah.
Because of, I think it's more of the tennis that he was in, his age, blah, 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 whatever. But Agassi definitely did that. And they had this, whatever you want to call it. There was games. It was him. It was, what's his name? Michael Chang, Andy Roddick, blah, blah, whatever. They were all competing.
Yep.
And the Agassi had said that if pickleball is where tennis players go to die, he said, consider me like dead or whatever forever. I don't know, something like that. He said that he was going to play until his legs fell off, because he loved it. So
yeah,
I hope he keeps playing. I hope we still see him. And I think obviously, like, you see more like the regular tour. I say regular tour because it's like regularly televised or whatever is the younger one. But senior pro, I think he might be able to bring more audience into watching senior pro.
Yeah, definitely. And I think pickleball is one of those sports where the senior game is much better viewing experience than a lot of other sports. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if a couple really big tennis legends sort of got serious into it and really sort of raised the profile of the senior pro tour, which I think is already higher than a lot of other senior pro sports anyway.
Yeah,
just because of how well suited pickleball is for older players.
Faux show. What about Anna Lee and Anna Bright getting back together?
Yeah,
what you think about that?
Yeah, we haven't talked since they got together. Their first tournament, they seemed pretty dominant there. I thought it was interesting because if you remember a year or two ago, Anna Lee was playing off and on with Catherine Parento and Anna Bright, and eventually she chose Catherine Parento, and I think that it's I thought at the time it was a mistake, but I think I know why she did it. I think she was probably trying to sort of replicate the Ben Johns, Colin Johns partnership, where you have sort of a dominant left side player and then sort of just a super stable defensive right side player to just sort of keep the point alive and keep it going until the left side best player in the world can come finish the point off.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the theory there. But the way the game has gone, with the new paddles and stuff getting faster and more offensive, I think it's pretty clear that Anna Bright has surpassed Catherine as a doubles player. Just can't match the firepower that Anna Bright brings to the table now. And they were just, when they were playing together in their first tournament, for over a year, the Annas were just pulling the trigger on everything, sort of blowing everybody up every chance they got.
What about now? Do you think that it's a mistake again for Anna Lee to go back to Anna Bright, or are you on that train? Like,
in terms of them easily winning tournaments, like, no, it's not a mistake. I think Anna Bright's clearly the second best women's player in the world, and probably the only one on a good day who can maybe surpass Anna Lee at all. But in terms of like the sport, I do think that like the Anna Lee and Catherine versus Anna Bright, Rachel Rohrbacher matches were becoming, or maybe were, the best rivalry in pickleball, and were always sort of really evenly matched.
Yeah, I think it was a really good rival. I think that they had the best games.
Yeah.
As far as like championships and everything in the finals or whatever, because it seemed like Anna Lee was just dominating every single like finals, but it was in there with Catherine, and she did really well. Catherine did awesome, and I think it's a super smart, play by her to go with Anna Bright. I really like Anna Bright. I think she's one of the best ones for sure, and I think she's gonna have the same thing. Anna Lee Waters. I think she's gonna have the same run as she did with Catherine, maybe even better.
Yeah,
because Anna Bright was in there with the upsets that Anna Lee had in championships, and it was Anna Bright beating her. So because Anna Bright's not there anymore, does that mean that they'll never lose a game? I mean, Anna Lee and freaking Catherine, they lost like once or twice a year or something like that. Crazy.
Yep.
I mean, they still dominated, completely, but yeah, that was the girlies.
Yeah.
That was a really good team. Did they make a lot of sweaters? Like, what happens with those sweaters?
Not the merch.
Who gets
Did
that?
anybody think of the merch before they...
Merchandising, right? Dave likes that. Spaceballs little thing there.
Yeah, I think Anna Bright probably owes an apology to her mom, who I think is behind a lot of the girlies merchandise. So.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Are you a fan of MLP? Do you watch MLP? Are you following that?
I've been watching a little bit of it. I prefer the PPA, but
Yeah.
I've been watching some of the MLP.
I love MLP. I think it's because you know how MLP was, where the whole little format that they had was that you stay on that one side. It was rally scoring, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
up to freaking 175 points, whatever.
Yep.
So now they changed it. They went to, it's just like regular game.
Regular, yep.
But it's MLP. you have your team and everything like that. But and I play as many MLPs as I can too, because I really like that. I like the whole team thing and the camaraderie and everything. But I wanted to talk about the whole thing of the distraction thing.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
With Tyson.
Yeah, with Tyson. What the hell do you think that was, well, would it be fair for them to do that, call that? And number two, to take a freaking point?
Yeah.
They gave a point
Yeah.
to the other player.
Yeah.
I think it was fought. So it was if you guys hadn't seen it, it was a dream breaker, which means that they both won the same amount of games, and this is like the tiebreaker, and it's a dream breaker, and it's singles. And Tyson McGuffin was going against Todd Fout, and I think the score was like only 3-1 or whatever. And Tyson hits it to the left. Todd gets it, but goes out to the left. And when it comes, he hits it in the middle, and Tyson just wheels it to the right.
Yep.
There was absolutely no way in hell that Todd was going to get it.
Yep.
But when Tyson hit it, he was like, yeah, he made a noise, and then the team makes, they're all excited or whatever, and they said distraction. Opponent gets the point.
Yeah.
They were like, what? I think that's complete BS.
Yeah, Tyson's whole team looked absolutely stunned.
Yeah, they were. They were like, what the hell is going on? He was like distraught, I think. He was like, come on, are you serious? Like, what the hell is going on type of thing. And they did too, a lot of them. They were just like, what is going on? How is that even a thing that not only it's a distraction, the guy was never going to get, just like the rule that I learned super early. I was playing with my sister in a tournament. I think we were playing like a 3-5 tournament freaking years and years ago. And I hit the ball, right? Volleyed. I took it out of the air.
Yep.
And I smashed it. Points over. And then I go into the kitchen, and then they called default on me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how is that even a freaking thing? There was the other one where I'm trying to poach, but I suck at poaching because I'm 5'0", I guess.
Yep.
I have freaking T-Rex arms. So I'm trying to poach. And I hit my partner. I didn't hit them, but I bumped into them. Mm-hmm. And they hit the ball, and I went into the kitchen, and they called a fault on me.
Yeah.
I said, that is completely bonkers. I didn't even hit the ball, but because we made contact when they hit the ball, and I fought.
2 becomes 1 rule, I think.
Listen, it's a wacky ass name and a wacky ass rules that they have in freaking pickleball. I really don't understand it, but
the writers of the pickleball rule book really, really, really did not want you hitting volleys while in the kitchen at all.
Yeah.
They were very your hat can't if your hat falls in there, that's another fault. That's another fun one.
Your glasses.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to Newman years ago, that he smacked the shit out of it and his paddle broke and it fell into the kitchen and they called fault.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, how can you call a fault on that?
Can't have your paddle breaking over the kitchen.
That's what? It's crazy. I don't know. I want to say about this daggone studio here. Isn't it cool? We got these reclining chairs and everything.
I know.
I don't know, man. I like it.
Great. We got to get some other people in here.
I likes it. If it's your first time watching OAP-TV, give us a like, subscribe, hit those buttons, smash them and everything so you can see more of this content and help out the channel, help us out.
Yeah, comments as well.
Yeah, for sure, because
all that really helps.
We give away stuff. We give away some cool stuff, some paddles, some bags, all types of things. And we actually, you want to do that now?
Yeah, we might as well while we're talking about it.
For the ape?
the Ape paddle giveaway. It goes to one commenter from our last video. So congratulations to Julie Lowlin. Won the, I think I'm saying that right, Lowline? Lowline has won the Pickleball Apes paddle.
Congratulations.
Thank you for everybody who dropped a comment.
Thank you so much. It's a good paddle too. I like it.
Yeah, and Julie, send us an email so we can know how to get this to you.
Thanks, Julie, for commenting and putting your name in there.
And also thank you to Evan Addington and the Crush Yard for donating this paddle.
Yes, thank you very much.
Appreciate that, guys.
Thank you, Pickleball Apes. And I'll put this back up here because it looks cool. And ready to talk about the tournaments?
Yeah, the other
I want to show this off. This is for the OAP. This is a tournament. One of the trophies is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's our tournament coming up June 6th to 8th, I believe. Real soon. It's pretty much sold out, so if you don't have a spot already, you can still join a wait list. But we're pretty much full for how many people we can take. It's going to be like 400 people this weekend. But if you do want to play in an OAP event, we do have some other options coming up for you this summer. Season 2 of our Thursday night Moneyball Team League is going to be starting this week on Thursday. So if you are interested, sign up right away for that. Coming next month too, we also have Crush Yard Season 3 starting up. So make sure you don't miss out on that as well. And in July, there is going to be a Moneyball only event that still has lots of spots available. And up on Pickleball Brackets now as well is the August tournament. A lot of people who wanted to play in this June one waited too long to sign up, and now we don't have room for them. So if you are looking to play in any of those upcoming OAP events, do not wait until it's too late. Sign up immediately.
Yeah, because the spots go crazy fast. You know, there's sometimes, most of the times on tournaments that people don't sign up until the last minute. And then, you know, sometimes when we do that, especially with these OAP ones, I'm looking at it's too late. You can't do it a few days before or a week before. You gotta really sign up and take those spots.
And we like things to run on time and for people to get in a good amount of games. So we will cut it off. And the way too a lot of these signups go, it goes like it's sort of a slow build, and then boom, like one weekend, you know, you have like 100 people sign up, and suddenly we're starting to close stuff and waitlist stuff because we just can't take people anymore. So
yeah, but the leagues are awesome. Got done with the one in ORS.
Yeah,
that just went on. That was good. Me, you, and Drew played in that. We did good the whole season, and whatever happened.
Yeah, it wasn't our finest performance once we dropped to the consolation bracket, but
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, congratulations to the Barnstormers for taking first place, and what was it?
They did good. That was BJ. That was BJ, and you have Ethan with that medal.
Couldn't quite fit the medal, I guess, over his giant head.
And also Ben did really good. He was actually subbing for Gary. Gary was on the original team, and he got hurt. He did something with his foot, but
those guys won over $800, I think.
Yeah, they got some money, man. Which reminds me that, you know, BJ owes me $20 or Ethan or one of them or all three of them.
Yeah, they should have the cash now to make that happen. So hit them up
if
for
you
sure.
guys are watching us, listen, come on, man. Second place, Mark's team. Mark Naprovic.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I'm saying that exactly how it's supposed
That's
to be.
the original Russian pronunciation.
Yeah, of course. And Carlos.
Yeah.
As well. Carlos played it. That team played really well.
Yeah.
And
also, shout out to Mark for hanging in there for like 12 matches because their third player couldn't make it that day.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. He's Russian. He's a tough guy automatically.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Probably hiked to school barefoot, fighting off polar bears,
Yeah. But that was good. That was super fun. I like the format. It's different from your regular, format that everybody does, and when it's only just, like a 2-man person team or whatever, and you get 3 people on there, you do 3 games, you do 3 teams, all types of stuff, and then you get to play, the lower teams were actually playing higher teams, so it was just like mixed up. So it's not that you're just stuck playing like the same people or whatever. So that was really cool, and I think a lot of the players appreciated that.
Yeah, every team signed up had a chance to win, and every team definitely got games versus opponents better than them, because the way the ladder's set up is, if you're winning, you're moving up. So you're either at the top winning money, or you are getting repeat attempts to play teams that are better than you. And the price comes in at only $20 a week. That's really, I think, the only sort of league at least in sort of the Central Florida area, where you can sort of sign up and get that high level competition in sort of a public league. Everywhere else, to get games that good, you got to set up like a private thing, or have your group or your clique that you play with. But we had a lot of good teams sign up for this first season.
It was really good. And next season, there's a few guys that I know that are going to sign up, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, some very good players playing season 2.
Season 2 is going to be just as good, or maybe even better.
Yeah, he'll definitely guarantee you will get to challenge yourself against some really good teams if you
100%. Yep.
If you play season 2.
Are we gonna make another team, or are we gonna like do a team separate and go against each other?
Yeah, we can make another team if you wanna run it back.
Yeah, if you'll have me, and you carry me this time. Because I don't know.
I mean, we lost
that last game. Freaking day was just weird. We played so well like the whole time, and all of us were just like, I don't know.
Yeah, the first week and the last week were rough.
I remember the first week. We were like, what's going on? What are we doing?
First week I was like, oh, this is what the yips feels like.
Got reminded.
It took me a couple games to remember how to hit the ball.
Yeah, but you forgot how to play pickleball.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. It's hold the paddle with your right hand. Kyler, what are you doing? Oh, yeah.
What's a continental grip again?
Right?
I can't remember.
Do I start on the right side or the left? But those were super fun. Looking forward to that. All right, that's it. We're done.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Wanted to let everybody know, if you are coming to the tournament this weekend, we will see you there. And we are going to have an OAP-TV booth as well. So if you stop by and show us you are subbed, you will be entered in a very cool roulette-style raffle. We got some awesome prizes, including a very in-demand paddle. So don't miss out on that. Come check out the OAP-TV booth this weekend if you are at our tournament, and say hi.
That's right. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Remember, we're going to have the general manager from the Pickler. That's going to be a really good interview. So see you then. Peace.